The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Keith Tebow from FRC Media. We hope you're enjoying yourself after yesterday's snowstorm. And on Wednesdays, we speak with the mayor of the City of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan, to get some updates on city events. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm doing fine. What's going on, Keith?
Same old, same old. Let's actually start with the storm. We've been in a good run here in Fall River and in southeastern Massachusetts. Last year was not a very snowy winter. Hasn't been that bad this year. We had one event earlier in the winter. Yesterday was probably, I guess, the most significant event we've had. We was only about 3 or 4 inches, but it's a good test for the city. How did the city pass in terms of cleaning the streets and getting us back up and running?
I think overall the city did a good job on cleaning the streets. We had a number of pieces out. I was down at Lewiston Street a couple times during the day. No real big issues stood out other than, regretfully, we tagged a number of cars for the parking ban. And again, if people saw that fire on Irving Street and what those cars that were illegally parked during the snow ban caused our firefighters to have to go through to fight that fire, they would move their car every time. But, it wasn't to be. I'm sorry, but again, we got through it pretty good. And again, we're still doing the after effects today. There's people that are complaining about a pile in their driveway, or there's people that didn't have the street cleared. So there's still work to do, but we'll get through it. Overall, very good.
Are there still some other cleanups that's still going on today after the fact?
Yeah,
I know the main streets seem to be in great shape. Some of the side streets, which is always an issue.
Yeah, we salted last night, and we have people out again today cleaning. So I think by the end of the day, we'll be in really good shape. But it's it's New England, it's winter. What are you going to do?
Yeah, and also it's that heavy, wet snow. Easy for me to say, heavy, wet snow, which is tough to push. And were there any? I know in the past, the city has always asked for volunteers to help maybe shovel some people out. Did you get any requests for any of those yesterday?
I don't know of any calls. We got a few people with their driveways. We sent someone by, but at the same time, it's been relatively quiet. I think it's because people haven't had a lot of snowstorms to go off of. And again, and like you just said, it was just solid water, some of that snow. So it was tough to move. And I do think, both public safety and our DCM crew and the privates that we work with did a great job. The city's in good shape. I drove around a little bit again this morning, and I'm sure I'll be out this afternoon.
And the good thing is we're in the middle of February. Once we get to the middle of March, maybe another month, things will start turning the other way, and hopefully we'll get through another winter. I want to shift gears. On Monday night at the school committee meeting, Superintendent Maria Ponce and her finance team unveiled the fiscal 25 school department budget, upwards of over $240 million. There are some impacts, as there are every year, with the city budget. What are your overall thoughts, having seen the initial numbers on Monday night, in terms of how it will set the school department up for next year?
Well, as you know, the school department gets separate funding from the state, and when they did the Student Opportunity Act, the additional cost to the city is going to be another couple $1 million. That puts a real strain on our city budget unless our unrestricted government aid went up at the same percent or gave us that same option. It's not gonna. So we'll have some things to work with on them. This budget was definitely a little leaner looking forward, because we only have another year or two of the Student Opportunity Act, and then they're going to get back to the regular funding methods, I hope. But it'll be at a new plateau level, much higher up. Again, overall, we've been able to do very, very well for our schools, whether it's facilities, curriculum, staffing, maintenance, upkeep. We're in a very, very good place right now in the Fall River Public Schools. I've never seen it, this many resources to try to help our students to improve. So I'm very, very pleased with that. It was up, as you noted, a couple hundred students too. So we're going in the right direction. The high school slipped a little bit, but overall our enrollment's increasing. We're still hiring staff, and we have couple of big things on the horizon. What's the contracts for everybody in the system and Student Opportunity Act money that we have to make up with, but we'll work our way along and get through it all.
And I know, I believe it was 2 years ago, and correct me on the timing, that you were looking for some help from potentially the state legislature on transportation. And we talked about that's always an issue because the city has to pick that up, even though the school department contributes some to that. Is that something you may still look at maybe
Still
inquiring
looking,
about?
Keith. I had a couple of conversations last week with people about school transportation. We're still looking. It seems like it's a very hard sell, but at the same time, out of fairness, they should really put a critical eye on it. I think they'll see that what we're asking for is the same thing that other students in Fall River get. So we'll see how it plays out, but it's not done yet.
So we will continue to follow that as the school committee will start looking at the budget and making some recommendations and approving it, I guess, sometime in April. That'll come back to you, and then you'll be able to submit it with your city budget to the city council for later this spring.
Yeah,
Finally,
that budget's given to us, obviously, with just what you described, Keith.
Yeah.
Take a look at what we're concerned about, highlight some pages, ask some questions, and then when we bring our principals in, we can target what they're saying. So you are 100% correct. It's like step one on a 10-step ladder before we get it done.
Yeah. And finally this week, it is Valentine's Day. It's also, which is a special day, of course, for you and your wife, Judy, as you celebrate Valentine's Day every year, but it's also a special day for you personally as well. It's also your birthday. Happy birthday. So any big plans for Paul's birthday / Valentine's Day?
Probably going to go to the middle school basketball championship game tonight at Durfee because it's maybe this weekend we'll grab a bite to eat somewhere, but it's middle of the week, so it's tough to plan something like that. But I appreciate it. People have been telling me happy birthday all day. I can't thank the city enough for how nice the people are to me in this city. We get people sometimes they read Facebook or they read comments and they get upset, but I don't get upset because 95% or 98% of the people in this city are very, very nice to me. They know we're trying to do the right thing, and I can't thank them enough. And I do appreciate all the birthday wishes, and I know Judy and I will celebrate when the time comes, probably this weekend. But right now, it's just a lot of stuff to do.
And I'm sure, like, when it comes to this day, do you kind of handle Valentine's Day and Judy handles birthday? How does that work? I mean, it's like someone having a birthday on Christmas. That person, unfortunately, may get left out.
Everybody knows how frugal I am, so I told her, don't get me anything for my birthday, and I won't get you anything for Valentine's Day, and we'll split a pizza tonight, and off we go. But that's kind of how it works, Keith. It's I'm not a great gift buyer, so Judy puts up with me, and she knows that I don't expect anything from anybody, so it's good to just keep going.
Yeah. Sometimes simplicity is the best way to go. All right, Mayor, enjoy the rest of your birthday today. We'll talk again next week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it.
All right. And as always, thank you for joining us here at FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week.